Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. PetVivo is working on innovative tools to help with osteoarthritis in horses and dogs. And with me is the CEO, John Lai, to bring us up to date on what's the latest with PetVivo. And I know you had this MWI launch. So explain MWI, what that is, what was the launch all
Sure.
about?
So MWI is one of the largest distributors in the veterinary space in the United States. They do about $5 billion a year in revenues. They have a very well-educated sales team. They're very well trained, but they're unique in the sense that they have a division called Sekur, which educates veterinary doctors and allows for continued education, accreditations, and so on. Because of that partnership, we're doing a whole series of wet lab demonstrations using our Spring product to demonstrate the advantages of using our product versus the current therapies. And we started rolling that out literally this week.
Okay. Yeah. And that's going smoothly?
Yeah, you know, they tell you it takes 3 weeks to integrate the two systems so they can talk to each other on ordering, tracking, and so on. Doesn't matter who you get, it takes 7 weeks.
Right.
Just double whatever.
It's kind of like having something built. It's always going to take longer and cost more than you expect.
It's always more in software because they find little bugs, you know. You don't really know until you actually run the system and test it, and that's what they said. 4 weeks into it, they says, we're good to go.
Okay.
We kept finding bugs on the testing, and they kept correcting. So it's done, and we're shipping product.
Awesome. And you have some new hires as well?
Yeah, we just hired Paula Whittier from Zoetis. She was at Zoetis for 27 years, managed a very profitable group that did very good in revenues and veterinary sales. So for her to jump after 25 years at Zoetis, we were kind of surprised and happy to have her.
Absolutely.
Because she's very, very skilled.
And that's a huge animal health company, so that's a big gift for you.
Yeah, Zoetis is the number one player.
Number one.
Yeah,
okay.
And you know, Rachel comes from Covetrus. I think she has 20-some years at Covetrus. I mean, they're probably hating me saying they have 20-some years. They're all over 25 years, you know.
Yeah.
So
it adds up quickly.
I know.
So, and you're growing clearly. Explain like what's going on with PetVivo and in terms of your growth in the past and moving forward.
So, you know, we have a feline product that we'll be introducing here shortly. So the uniqueness of the product is we're hitting certain trends that we're seeing in the veterinary space. That trend being the veterinary doctors are leaning towards more natural products. Our product is naturally derived. The second thing they're looking at is looking for the reduction in the use of pharmaceuticals and other biologics because those have multiple side effects. So prolonged use of NSAIDs, which is the gold standard treatment or the first line of treatment veterinary doctors use, tends to cause GI tract bleeding, liver and kidney failure. Also, it tends to mask the underlying root problem of osteoarthritis of damaged cartilage. Well, if the dog's not feeling the pain, they're going to jump and run in areas and actually going to destroy the cartilage much quicker. And our product's unique in the sense and truly disruptive is once the particles go into the joint, it actually augments the existing cartilage and provides protection for the existing cartilage, but functions just like fresh cartilage would. It's wet and lubricious, so when the dog runs, it's actually lubricating the joint and keeping the joint from heating up and getting inflammation.
Okay.
So we're noticing these trends, and we're definitely hitting these trends. The third trend is the ESG orientation. Our packaging is probably 98% recyclable.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the only thing that isn't recyclable, which goes into the standard Sharps red syringe thing, they throw those in there. So we're pretty happy we're meeting all what we see as the general trends goals that veterinary doctors would like to see.
Okay, and then just overall, the pet care industry has, I feel like, absolutely exploded over the past few years. I mean, maybe it's because I live in New York, but everybody I know has a dog. And so, I mean, what are you seeing just in a macro sense from the pet industry?
The COVID really brought a pet adoption from approximately 68% of households owning pets to 71%. Now, with the downturn in the economy or the destruction of disposable income that people have, we're seeing a general slowdown in expenditures, but they're still expending on situations where it's increasing quality of life. They may be cutting back on the types of food or the types of toys they get them. We actually kind of fit into the general trend. Our product is a major cost savings for the consumer, because if they were just to take NSAIDs, it's like $450 a year, but it has all these side effects. Our product is generally, per joint, it's about $600, and you get at least 1 year of protection that we've been seeing. But in the actual real world, we're seeing well beyond a year. And our product is covered under pet insurance, so it gets covered. So it's an economic savings for the consumer. Typically, a consumer to treat osteoarthritis is spending well over $1,000 a year because of the multiple follow-up visits to the vet and the different treatments. Because veterinary doctors are taught at vet school, once you diagnose osteoarthritis, it's a multimodal approach. You're using NSAIDs, you're using stem cells, you're using hyaluronic acid, and this is just in 1 year. You know, so we're really providing a service to both the consumer and the veterinary doctor and the pet.
Yeah, okay. John, thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
coming back. Great to hear an update on PetVivo.
Yep, happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
Tonix Pharmaceuticals began a clinical study of its long COVID treatment. And with me is the CEO of Tonix, Seth Lederman, to explain about the study. You just really started it, called the Prevail Study. And what are you trying to accomplish with this?
Long COVID is a big problem, and it is heterogeneous, meaning not all long COVID patients are the same. We are studying a group of long COVID patients, which we think can be as many as 2/3 of them who have symptoms that overlap with fibromyalgia. So we're testing our drug, TNX-102SL, which has already had a successful phase 3 study in fibromyalgia. We're testing that drug for its ability to help people with long COVID whose symptoms overlap with fibromyalgia.
What are the symptoms that overlap?
There are 4 major symptoms of fibromyalgia, and they are the same as those of long COVID. And they are multi-site pain, that means pain in more than one place, fatigue, which most people talk about as having low energy, cognitive problems, which is often referred to as brain fog, and finally sleep problems.
Well, I've even heard people say that they have trouble conducting meetings because of the brain fog associated with COVID. So when do you expect some data from the study?
The interim analysis we expect will happen in the first half of 2023.
Okay.
And then we haven't guided to the top line of the full study. It's a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study. We're targeting enrolling 470 patients. So we think that it will provide a pretty clear answer about the ability of our drug to help these people.
And you mentioned how long COVID is such a big problem. I mean, some people have talked about being a global health issue. We just don't really know much about long COVID, even COVID, really. We've learned a lot, but there's still a lot we don't know, especially the long-term impacts. So how do you think you might be able to help with that?
Well, long COVID is really, it's been called by health economists a brewing tsunami in healthcare trouble, and that's been recognized by a variety of people. President Biden on April 5th issued an unprecedented executive memorandum organizing all of the branches of government to work on it and calling for a national action plan. The health economist at Harvard University recently projected the long-term cost of long COVID at $3.7 trillion. The Brookings Institute issued a report that was covered by the Wall Street Journal on August 25th that said it already accounts for 2 million unemployed people and $170 billion of economic impact.
Goodness.
So long COVID is a huge problem. The problem with long COVID is that it lasts so long. COVID is relatively short. People either get better or not, but it's short. Long COVID happens in 20 to 30% of people who recover from COVID and then persists for months, years, and possibly longer.
Yeah, I guess we're waiting to find out how long some of this might last.
Yes.
What is the status with the fibromyalgia study?
The fibromyalgia phase 3 study is a confirmatory phase 3 study, since we already have one positive phase 3 study. So a positive result in that will mean that we can file the new drug application with FDA. So it'll be in approximately a year from now, we will have the full information.
Okay. And you mentioned one of the things with long COVID and fibromyalgia, well, is the multi-site pain. And opioids is an issue with long COVID as well, right?
Opioids is a big issue. Opioids is an issue for all people, all Americans, and I think we learned from the opiate crisis, it doesn't take a long treatment with opiates to become addicted. And one of the things that we had seen before the COVID epidemic was fibromyalgia patients are frequently prescribed opiates. They don't work for fibromyalgia patients, but they do cause the long-term problems, the addiction, dependency, and the side effects. So we recently looked at a database of a large number of American patients and found out that long COVID patients are being treated with opiates, which is not a good idea. I think it means that the prescribing doctors don't understand that this type of pain does not respond to opiates. But we found that people with long COVID who have multi-site pain and fatigue, half of them were getting opiates. So we think that this is really setting up the United States for another opiate crisis, a rebound opiate crisis.
Oh, goodness.
So we really have to get better treatment guidelines in place and more education out there.
Yeah, and Tonix's treatment, if all the clinical studies come through, as you hope, could be an alternative to that.
Yes, ours is a non-opiate, and it's non-addictive, it has no recognized addictive potential. Our drug acts by improving sleep quality. And we believe, and we've shown in one phase 3 study, that improving sleep quality leads to, if you want to call it a trickle-down effect, and other of the symptoms of fibromyalgia improve. So that's what we're aiming for in long COVID.
Okay, thank you so much, Seth, for coming in.
Thank you, Jane.
Out of control inflation, escalating government debt, gas and energy bills burning through your savings, and a spiraling war in Europe. The world feels like a very uncertain place right now, and it's harder and harder to take control of your money and safeguard your savings. I mean, why would anyone want to keep their money in a bank that's only going to lend it out for its own profit? Putting your savings at risk, and for what? A pittance in interest? Well, let me tell you about Glint. and how they can help you to save in real gold you can spend like dollars. Now, first off, Glint's not a bank or crypto or some new type of credit card. What Glint provides is the ability and freedom to buy, save, and spend real allocated gold that's secured in Brink's vaults and insured by Lloyd's of London. Glint's Smart app and MasterCard is leading the payments revolution, putting you in control of your money by making real gold, trusted for thousands of years, into an instant, secure digital currency for the modern world. Best of all, your gold is always your gold. It's no one else's liability. It's secure and allocated to you. It never goes away, even in a crash. To learn more, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store. It's time to take control of your money and protect it with the time-tested security of gold and the modern digital convenience of Glint. Gold is security. Glint, it's key.
Sustainable Green Team and Coastal Kapital are partnering, and we're going to find out more about what exactly this partnership is all about. With me, co-host of Unstoppable, Rhonda Swan. Great to have you back. We've also got Kortney Murray, the CEO of Coastal Kapital, Michael Meady, Chief Financial Officer of Sustainable Green Team, and also Tony Rayner, the CEO. So let's just start with your partnering on products that make people happy, and really some important products. So let's talk about what your unique partnership is all about.
Well, I got to tell you, when you're in a business with the name Sustainable Green Team, there's a lot of, you feel responsibility to that. And, having a sustainable business that has a very heavy, intensive equipment in manufacturing, and finding the right relationships to work together and funding your vision, and when you find that right niche or the person or entity that really gets it, man, you really want to build on that. And when we met with Kortney and her husband, we really were shocked on how well they understood the equipment, finance, and everything else. So it's been good.
Yeah, awesome. I know that in finance you talk so often about other people's money, right? Which is why the two of you are partnering. Why would a company though like SGTM need funding or want to partner with a funding and a financing company like Kortney's?
So that's one of my favorite topics is OPM. Other people's money is something that every entrepreneur or any established business that's looking to grow needs to utilize. I know that as an entrepreneur, I know that you are one as well. Bootstrapping your own business isn't always the route to go. Mostly if you have a high sustainable company that's growth patterns is not only equipment, but hiring new employees. You need working capital for certain things. I always love to say you would never pay for an employee up front. Why would you do that? You want to see what they're going to do to perform. And so that's the same thing with buying equipment. You want to make sure that it's the right fit for you, cost effective and things like that moving forward with the company. So with Tony's expansion and us being there in Florida in both partnership and trying to create happiness, we were kind of perfect partners at the time.
Yeah, I love it. Tony, SGTM, you have some really strong core values with what you're doing and the impact that you want to leave. Share more about that, right? How are you reaching your goals, by following the values that you hold in the company?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, having a name, Sustainable Green Team, it's really in that name, changing things, doing things through a different process or, growing an organization where you're changing the future. We have to make changes, and so we have a circular economy of multiple, vertically integrated companies from arboricultural, from cutting the tree to recycling it to manufacturing, and they all streamline together. And so each one of those, have major equipment needs. And so it's really how you tie all that together and integrate it and to make that difference by taking things that would normally be wasted and making them into wonderful products. And these products, they do make you happy.
Well, Michael, explain what it is you're doing, the Sustainable Green Team, because I think we talked kind of about your partnership, but what is it that you're doing as a company?
So what we're doing is essentially taking waste products and creating, as Tony said, happy products. So we'll bring in green waste and we turn that into usable items, such as mulch, such as soil, and lumber for that matter as well. So we are really trying to take this business into an area that we haven't been before as far as growth goes. And in order to do that, one of the things we need to do is utilize equipment to get us to where we want to go. And partnerships like what we're going to do with Coastal Capital is going to be so extremely important to get us to the next level. And as Kortney said, OPM, other people's money, I mean, we need to be able to leverage that fact. And that's what we're going to do with Coastal Capital. And we're looking forward to that partnership.
Yeah. And just kind of wrap it up, Kortney, I mean, how is Coastal creating this unique niche to help companies grow?
Sure. So one of the things that Coastal has done, obviously we all know COVID has been a little crazy economic times for any business. And so what we've done is create kind of a niche with deferred payments, you know, no payment for 6 months. Let's get your equipment on order. But also with our partnerships, we treat our relationships as family. And so we have a lot of other avenues. So not only can we help finance the equipment that maybe is on back order until 2025, but we can give them a way to market that equipment and reach out to the potential clients, because we do have avenues for ancillary products such as working capital for advertising and marketing and things like that. So it puts us in a different spectrum for financing. We're not just there for the money, we're there for really creating an advocate.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Kortney and Michael and Tony, for joining us today. Thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Coastal Capital focuses on equipment-based lending, lines of credit, and working capital. I founded my company based on the belief of partnerships. If we didn't have partnerships and trust and relationships, nothing would move forward. We really like to get to know the core of the client. We want to know who we're working with. We believe in a story, and that's why we call ourselves a story time lender. Coastal Capital is financing you can trust.
Welcome to New to the Streets Unstoppable Show, and with me, David Rojas, the CEO of Blue Castle Ventures. We've also got a co-host, Rhonda Swan. Good to have you back. And so, David, Blue Castle Ventures, you're a wealth manager, a day trader. You do personal and corporate finance, in charge of mergers, risk management, almost every continent, which is fascinating as well. So, I guess I gave a little overview, but tell us more about Blue Castle.
Well, Blue Castle is the real, true platform in which is a real marketplace when you have the part of digital goods and real goods, right? Basically, the idea of Blue Castle initially was to tokenize real estate. That's why it's called Blue Castle, right?
Interesting.
But before taking that step, we wanted to do like a test run, so it wouldn't be like a pipe dream. So we started like doing it with smaller things. So right now we are mainly in the NFT business, but no in the traditional way that other companies are doing that right now.
Okay, so tell me about what do you think what's going on with the crypto market? There's been so much shift and change, a lot of talk. Where do you see this industry going and what's taking place now?
Well, the problem with the cryptocurrencies is that there is no real collateral behind it. So basically you are trading air. And the only ones who are profiting from this are the exchange, right? So that's why 9 of every 10 people lose money with cryptocurrencies, because they don't have a sense of what is going on. It's basically the same phenomenon that we saw maybe 10 years ago with FX trading, with Forex trading. That, oh yeah, you could see like many ads about Forex, and still today we have that. Maybe even before with stock trade. The only difference among those three is that if you do stock trading, there are real companies behind. If you do FX market, there are real currencies behind. But with cryptocurrencies, there is nothing behind. So that is why right now, most of those companies are either broke or their CEOs are running from the police. So yeah, so no, and it's, yeah, there have been so many scandals, and people have, because there's not a clear legislation on them. So that's why I think that it's the use of the blockchain technology that is being used not in the proper way. So we're trying to change that.
Interesting.
Oh, I like that. So how are you changing that? I know you do something different with your NFTs. Like, what makes Blue Castle so different?
So basically, we're taking the blockchain technology, our platform, to use it for what it is meant to, which is security, right? And we are trading physical assets. So we start with NFTs. We're talking about real paintings. So people are actually buying something that has a real collateral. We're using the same system to, like, keep up the fashion that people just, oh, I know what an NFT is and all of that. But we're changing that certificate in a digital certificate in the blockchain. So people are really actually buying something. They are able to either resell it for more money or just keep it at home. I have like 3 of those in my home. Like, I just bought a home, so I have them there. And it's great because also we are not just a company that is like 100% profited for ourselves, because with exchanges, you see only like the CEOs getting really rich, right? But in our case, we are giving back a little bit to our customers, because they are the ones who are making our company happen. So think about our company like a very, like, if you think the best airline, right, in the points reward. We are something like that. So with our points, because basically what you do is buy our points, right? You use them to buy or sell whatever we're selling there, which is a physical asset in a digital world. But also, if you stay with us, we share part of the profit of our company. So that has given us some revenue and some money to create other products and start growing towards the other industries that Blue Castle wants to be in the future.
Yeah, oh, interesting. So David, explain what is next then for Blue Castle.
So right now we are doing all this with paintings, right? Because we have noticed that when people have invested in blue chip art and other art in the past, has beaten the S&P 500 several times. So it's a way of investing, right? We mix that with some stock trading, and obviously the next step will be real estate, in a way that maybe we could put like real estate properties there. And what if we could offer people mortgages with very low rates, and maybe some of the profit of the company will go towards your mortgage. So think about like the bank gives you a mortgage and say, hey, you know what? Don't pay the next 2 mortgage payments. We have them covered because we did so good thanks to you.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so that's so Blue Castle is like a community. We're trying to help each other. So instead of being a CEO worth, I don't know, 50 billion, I'm okay with 25 billion.
Yeah.
And the rest I'll just give it back.
Or 2.
Yeah, the humble
It's all right? So, and it works because people feel like they're part of something more just than this fugazi world of blockchain that we have right now. And the world is going toward digital, right? So my generation, we will not understand it. Only people who have been more recently born and maybe who are maybe right now 20 years old, they understand what is the value in that. So yeah, and yeah, probably we have been very successful in that.
Yeah. Well, great to hear about Blue Castle. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, Rhonda.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited
Thank
to see
you
what
for
you guys
the
are going to do
invitation.
next.
Yeah.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
Welcome to New to the Street's Unstoppable Show, and welcome also to my co-host, Rhonda Swan. Great to see you again. And with me is Kortney Murray, the CEO of Coastal Kapital, Capital with a K. So we want to make sure we distinguish that. And Chris Murray, who's the Senior Vice President of Coastal Capital as well. So you're using Kapital Finance. A company uses logic in the underwriting process, but you also have kind of an interesting business model as well. So great to have you back. Let's just talk about the economic challenges we've been through, how you've been able to still grow through that.
Sure. Thank you for having me back. It's great to be back at the NASDAQ. We have obviously seen a lot of times with the economy, with, I made it through 2008 and as well as COVID. And so to keep up with the Joneses in economic times, we have to kind of stay a little bit ahead of our competitors. And so what we've done is we offer not only an ancillary product that allows some working capital bridges for our clients to get through some of the slower times, but we also underwrite based on a logic platform. And it also has allowed us to open up avenues for not just working capital and bridge loans, but commercial finance up to 30 million we're able to secure now, and have skip payment programs and things like that to assist our clients.
Yeah, it's great. And I know last time we were speaking on the show, you were branching out into new industries and helping different types of entrepreneurs. How has that happened? What's taking place now? What are you up to now?
Yeah, absolutely. I can jump in there, and thank you both for having me on the show. So in addition to construction finance, that type of equipment, material handling, over-the-road trucking, industrial, we branched out to e-commerce, technology, software, marketing, advertising. We can even finance a book author. We can do so many different things, and we can do it quickly in real time because we know business owners are very busy.
I love that. And now you're really expanding, so you're helping so many more. What are you doing now to really differentiate yourself, though, from your competitors, right?
Yeah, so we do call ourselves a storytime lender, and we really look for 5 things. So we don't like to look at just a credit base. A lot of people don't want to just be a number and a score. So we look at not only personal credit, the volume of the credit, but we look at their business credit, whether the piece of equipment they're purchasing is a necessity or an accessory, how they're going to market that for revenue stream. And the most important is if they're involved in their business. We like sweat equity. We like people who are involved, they know what's going on to the day-to-day, and watch their companies grow, because those seem to be the most successful. So sometimes you have somebody who may have had what we like to call a hiccup.
Yep, credit.
And we don't want to score them on a hiccup. We want to score them on an overall perspective, and that's what sets us apart from our competitors.
So impressive.
Yeah.
Great. And you can both chime in on this. What's next for Coastal Capital?
You want to start?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I would say the most important part is just really increasing our internal lines, growing as a company. We're expanding our offices with more employees, and as we expand our own internal funding lines, there'll be more that we can do for more business owners.
Wow.
Yep, we have opened up some lines for women in business funding, and like we said, some ancillary products, which consist of marketing and media platforms that we never had before, book author platforms that we never knew we would be, thriving in. And so it's exciting to stamp our own approvals. That's our own internal line. So
If I ever write a book, I'll know where
yeah,
to go.
definitely.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Chris and Kortney.
Thank
Great
you.
To
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Coastal Capital focuses on equipment-based lending, lines of credit, and working capital. I founded my company based on the belief of partnerships. If we didn't have partnerships and trust and relationships, nothing would move forward. We really like to get to know the core of the client. We want to know who we're working with. We believe in a story, and that's why we call ourselves a story-time lender. Coastal Capital is financing you can trust.
With me is Alain, the CEO of Sekur, which provides secure instant messaging and emails and other platforms for businesses and individuals. And Alain, I know we wrapped up the second quarter, and we kind of got an update mid-quarter. Things were looking pretty good. Do you have a wrap-up of the quarter?
Yes, so we had a really good Q2 year over year. Our sales increased 1,140%. We're very excited, very happy. Our subscription increased 800%, and it really validates the business model that we have put together and permits us now to move forward to small business marketing and so forth. So at this point, on a monthly recurring basis, we're less than 6 months away from being operationally profitable, which is amazing. We still have a lot of cash in the bank, over $4 million in the bank, no debt. What we've done as well is we are reducing our marketing expense for next year and optimizing each dollar a lot more. We are hiring our own SEO marketing person. We're going to optimize our client acquisition cost. The goal for us by the end of the year is to come to a level that is acceptable for us to spend more at that point and become profitable by the end of 2023. So the Q2, what's really good is that it started to suddenly shift to a higher gear than Q1. Q3 looks really good, at or better than Q2, and we are going to meet, it looks like we're going to meet our guideline for the whole year, which should be at least over 200% more in sales than 2021. So we're pretty excited about that. It really validates everything that we've been working hard, and we obviously thank our supporter, our shareholders, and the people who buy Sekur, right, our customers.
So it sounds like the second quarter was kind of a pivotal quarter for you in terms of, going to the next level for the company.
Yes, in many ways. First, the numbers, they're high compared to Q1. They're up more than 30%, and year over year, 1,100 something percent. And then also we're seeing people are using multiple licenses. So each customer is buying more license or users or seats, sometimes they call it, in a SaaS business model, software as a service, which is what we are. So it's really good for the viewer who's watching us. Every quarter, it should increase. As long as we increase our subscriber base, it becomes a cumulative revenue. Our churn rate is single digit, so we have a low churn rate, and we'll keep trying to refine it to make it even lower. So yes, we're very happy, and we now can see where we're going to be and when we're going to be profitable. It is not so much of an unknown, far in the distant type of vision. Now we have a clear vision to our profitability, and we feel very lucky that we've been very careful also with our cash position and managing as best as we can, and we feel good. This was a quarter that we felt we did a good job, and now we're going to push to the next metrics.
Yeah. Now, and there are some partnerships as well.
Yes, we have actually 3 partnerships we will announce in September and October, all of them in the US. So one of them is a digital media publication platform that basically has a membership program. They want to onboard about 100,000 paid members by next year, and they will offer secure solution at discount to their members. So we estimate about 10 to 20% of them, 10 to 20,000 users from that. So that'll be really good. The other one is a digital e-commerce platform competing with Shopify type of thing. Definitely that's an interesting one. And it's actually planning to have about 15,000 users for us, so meaning selling Sekur by the end of next year, with a monthly ad of 3,000 net user per month. So on year 2, we could get 40,000 accounts as opposed to 15. That will be really good for us. And again, they get a discount to our wholesale because their resellers have a particular price, and that's how they make the markup. The margins are still very attractive for us, well over 50%. So that's a good margin to have. No cost of marketing. This is where we reduce our marketing cost. And then the third platform we're signing as well is basically, it's also a B2B cybersecurity platform, B2B, B2C. We will announce all of these in the next few weeks, and they plan to have 150,000 users by the end of next year. if we get even a third of that from them, that'd be amazing. So the last two partnerships, what we're doing is we're integrating our payment system from Stripe, which is a very famous payment platform that a lot of people use. We will be able to integrate directly so that when their clients buy their product, we get paid automatically through an API integration, which will be really great because it saves you looking for billing and asking and invoicing and so forth. So reduction of management costs, automatic payment, better cash flow for the company. So we're very excited. So those are really amazing partnerships, and we haven't even hit 2023. We plan in 2023 to do a lot more of these B2B partnerships, but these alone are quite good. And I think a week ago I mentioned about, or even now I mentioned about profitability. This is without these partnerships. With these partnerships, profitability could come a lot sooner.
Yeah. Well, and I'm looking forward to hearing the names of the companies when you're ready to make those public. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, as a public company, we can't disclose it, but they'll be coming on, and we'll have more. But they're really good companies, well managed, so we wish them a lot of success, because their success will bring us success. But the background is good, management is solid, so I think they'll be able to deliver on most of their targets.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Alain. Good to hear about the progress, and look forward to another update.
Thank you, Jane. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Fixie is a club for cell phones, tablets, and computer repair that could save you a bundle. And with me is Alexandra Poirier, the head of communications for Fixie. So just tell me about Fixie.
Hello. Hi. Fixie is a club for cell phones, tablets, laptops, computers, and wearable owners, like AAA is a club for car owners. With membership comes tremendous benefits. The #1 benefit is that if your device breaks, we will fix it for free. We've been in business for 15 years, so we know the industry inside and out. In order to be the best in business, you have to change the rules, and that's exactly what we're doing. We've created a business model that's going to help people save money on high repair prices and eliminate monthly premiums.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so is this like an insurance policy?
No, it's a club, and there are no monthly premiums and no deductibles.
And then also, considering everyone has a cell phone and at least a few other devices, I mean, I would think this would be a huge industry. Can you describe that?
You're 100% right. Cell phones have become our lifeline. If you leave it at home, you're definitely going back to get it. Not just kids and adults have devices, even toddlers do now. And in some cases, they can work them better than adults.
Yes.
Since the glass on devices is like an eggshell, it breaks very easily when hit, causing it to need to be repaired. It can easily cut your finger, or even worse, your ear, which is why there is a cell phone repair shop in almost every shopping center in the country. It's literally $1 billion industry.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. So now, why would someone get a smartphone or a tablet repaired as opposed to buying a new one?
Well, cell phones and tablets have become very expensive, some over $1,000. Let's say you have a cell phone that costs $1,200 and you can get it repaired for $400 and have it as good as new. Why wouldn't you? The problem is it's still $400, and that's a lot of money to most people. A Fixie membership is just $19.95 a year.
And what does the average repair cost?
The average repair cost for a cell phone or tablet is between $150 to $800. The cost to fix computers, laptops, and smartwatches is even more.
Yeah, and Fixie will fix it for free if you're a member of this club?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you charge a deductible?
No, because remember, we're not an insurance company.
Yeah. Okay. And then also the monthly fee, $20 a month. The monthly fee must be more than $20 a month for this, right? No?
No. A cell phone membership is just $19.95 a year, not a month. If you were to break that down, it'd be $166 a month with no deductible.
And what is the process then if somebody needs a repair through Phixey?
So they would just log in to the back office of their Phixey account and click Order Repair. And our GPS mapping system will connect them with the nearest technician. We have thousands of technicians nationwide, so location is never a problem.
Okay. And what is the difference between, say, Phixey and an insurance company?
Great question. Insurance companies charge a monthly premium of between $5 and $20. Phixey is just $19.95 a year. Not a month, no monthly premiums, no deductibles.
No, it's kind of an amazing price, actually. So are there any other benefits to being a member of Phixey?
Yes, there are multiple benefits. In October, we will be launching Fixie Wireless. It's powered by T-Mobile. So for just $10 a month, you can get unlimited talk and text. You don't have to purchase months in advance. You don't have to have multiple lines. Another benefit is that you can always purchase accessories at wholesale prices, most starting at $4.95 with free shipping, or you can go into one of our 300 plus affiliate stores and receive 25% off. In addition to all of those benefits, as a member of Phixey, you are entitled to receive up to 25% off your membership fees. The more devices you add, the bigger the discount.
And how does somebody sign up for Phixey?
You just go on Fixie.com, you add your credit card information, or you could use Apple Pay, and it takes about a minute.
Now, if somebody's watching this, they're interested if you're a public company or not. Are you a public company?
No, we are a private company. However, if anyone is interested in investment opportunities, they can contact our CEO, Dan Darrigan, at dan@fixie.com.
And is there anything else that we should know about Phixey?
Phixey is soon to be a household name. We are projected to have over 20 million members within the next 2 years. As we grow, we will constantly be adding benefits. We plan on making the world a better place by helping people save money on all aspects of their life. I just want to reiterate that the cost of a Phixey membership is $19.95 a year, not a month, and if your device breaks, we will fix it for free. It truly is unbelievable, and there's no other program like this on the planet.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard of it. Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thank you.
For coming back. Thank you.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Welcome everyone to your Secure Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry along with Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Secure Private Data. Welcome, Alain.
Thanks, Anna. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here.
All right, so in the U.S., the midterm elections are coming up in November, so lots of conversations are going to be had about left and right, red and blue, this and that. So we know that big tech seems to listen in. So how can we basically protect ourselves from not being censored by big tech and keeping our conversations and our opinions between those that we want to share them with?
This is a great topic because we've had already people asking us little questions on support. So a couple of things I need to tell our viewers about communicating, whether your opinion or documents or articles, etc. First of all, if you do it with a big tech platform, I have heard from people that some of these platforms have reduced and throttled or delivered a message middle of the night, basically hampering communication. This happened in the previous election, the presidential one. It was kind of widely known. Now, what's happening is that if you use Sekur and you want to blast to 50 people your email, what will happen, because it has happened, we've had complaints from the domain holder of the recipient. So we've had to limit ourselves, I think, to 10 to 20 people outside of Sekur. So if you're a Sekur user and you want to send an article to 30 people, and 2 people complain to, let's say, Microsoft or Google and say, I'm getting this spam from this domain, that hurts us because then we're being blacklisted. So what we did is we took some precautions so this doesn't happen. But what I do recommend is that you use the Secure Send platform. If you go to sekur.com and you download the email application, which now is working pretty much perfectly fine on iOS or Android, or if you go to webmail, mail.sekur.com, you should use the Secure Send, because when you send an email to someone, the recipient ISP won't be able to see it. So the recipient can click and then read, and you can add as much attachment as you want. And then they can't complain that they're getting something, because it's literally an active thing where you click to open, right? That's one thing. The best thing would be that everybody has Sekur, obviously, because nobody reads your email. It's protected by the Swiss data privacy laws. We don't use any third-party hosting. We have our own machine, our own infrastructure, and therefore your privacy is guaranteed. So that's when it comes to email. When it comes to messaging, I want to make sure people understand. Our system is not an SMS. It's not a texting. So if you want to chat with someone as opposed to using text, WhatsApp, or something else, and you want some privacy, what you should do is use Secure Messenger. But let's say the other person doesn't have it. Go to our secure.com website and watch the how to use chat by invite video. You can literally chat with anyone in 61 countries by sending them a text message, and even more countries if you just send an email notification. The recipient gets a link on the text, they click, and then they can chat with you in full privacy, and they don't have to download Sekur, they don't have to register for it. It opens a secure browser, and when the conversation is done, you, the sender, can delete that conversation. It will disappear for good everywhere and in our servers. I highly recommend people really pay attention to that. If you send to somebody where you don't even have the phone number on your contact list, so we all have our contact list, right? So on Sekur, it will say, do you want to add from your phone contact? And then it will pull up. You can even choose the country. Most people will be US. And then if you want to send to somebody who's not in your phone list, you can manually input the name and the mobile number. It'll send an SMS or text to the recipient to click on a link and chat with you. It's an amazing system, and it's highly private and secure. So I know a lot of people have come to us and they're talking already about this. They don't want to be canceled. They don't want to be blocked. I mean, we encourage open discussion of civil natures, left, center, or right. We don't condone any kind of, very aggressive language and criminal activity, obviously, because we will lock out your account. If that's the case, then you will not get your money back. So if you want to have just general discussion and send articles like normal people would discussing politics, use our system, because that's the most privacy you're going to get.
And this seems great person to person. Clarify a little bit for me. What about when you want to send to multiple people? A lot of people are using Telegram, WhatsApp, Discourse, even Facebook. That's where most of the information is actually shared, and Instagram. So tell us a little bit about how your platform works. And there's not too many people that you can share it with. Is that correct?
No. So you need to have other people having Sekur.
Okay.
In that case, sure. Just like when you go to Telegram, Discord, and WhatsApp. The difference with us is that we don't data mine you and we don't read your content, right? So think about like the early revolutionary years in the United States. You had these, what do you call it? These groups of people, right? These militias.
Militias,
from the early days. They were small groups and they communicated between themselves or with other small groups. This is kind of what Sekur does. By the way, Telegram, there was a discussion I had earlier, I think it was last week, with Jane King, the financial reporter from NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange, where Telegram is being hacked, in fact, because there's a lot of people doing those kind of sharing and broadcasting, etc. So if you use Telegram, this is an article that came out at threadpost.com. If you use Telegram, the hackers can come in and steal your entire identity, your credentials, your content, you name it. So we already know that WhatsApp is not private. That's a given. But people have this illusion about Telegram or Signal, and now you have public information that's out there that proves otherwise. So if you want to discuss with 100 people in a group, they're going to need to have Sekur, right? Okay. That's common. But if you want to have a little here and there to 10, 20 people, I would still recommend using Sekur Send, because when you send a regular email, the recipient ISP can read it, right? So that's not good. Also, a hacker could potentially come to the ISP and then take it. Anyway, the bottom line is that if you want to have like with 100 people a discussion, we're not that platform. If you want to email, little article, chat with a group of people, sure, you can do it with us. Definitely. You could have 100 people on your email list if they all use Sekur, because then nobody's complaining to a third party. If we're 50 people, nobody's going to complain, I'm getting this message from this person at Sekur. And if they do, our domain will not be blacklisted. We simply contact that person politely and say, listen, we've had complaints. People don't want to receive your email. But that's only if we get a complaint, right? It doesn't damage our reputation of our website. So it's important.
Person to person, small groups, Sekur is secure. And if you choose to participate in those other apps and places of discussion that we mentioned earlier, then your information is vulnerable because the third-party system's in place there. So that's basically the difference.
Yeah, and I don't know who is what party and who works for who. But basically, from what you hear, I think people want to have that privacy, no matter which political party big tech leans to, left or right, right? Because they each have their own valid point to discuss. So we do respect that, and we just want to offer privacy to people.
Well, good. I bet business is going to ramp up during this very heated political time we're coming into now for midterms and then the 2024 election.
We're seeing a lot of people coming up, definitely a lot of, and that's how I know about this topic, because we're getting support questions like that, and I can tell it's boiling up. I can only imagine in October it's going to be full force. It's too bad we don't have our video encryption and our voice, secure voice ready for October, November. But, for the presidential election, we're going to have that in full force, and we'll offer great deals for people and who want to use the voice encryption and not being listened to.
It'll be here before we know it. As always, learning so much about keeping our data information private and secure. Thank you so much again, Alain.
Thanks, Anna. One last thing. If you want 15% discount, use promo code SKUR.com, SEKUR 15. Sorry, I just mixed it up.
You speak multiple languages. You get.
I speak Sekur now. So use promo code SKUR15 when you go to SKUR.com, SEKUR 15. You get 15% off for a whole year. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.